Welcome to Jewish Online Magazine video weekly portion of the week. Parshas TAZRIA-METZORAH, and this video is taken from the DRASHA of Rabbi Mordechai KAMENSTKY. The written text is on TORAH.ORH. This week, in reading both TAZRIA and METZORAH, we combine portions that deal with the physio-spiritual plague of tzara'at. Tzara'at is a discoloration that appears in varying forms on human skin, on hair, clothing, and even on the walls of one's home. The afflicted individual must endure a complicated process of purification in order to rejoin the community. The Talmud explains that tzara'at as a divine punishment for the sins of slander and gossip. In fact, the Talmud comments that the reason that the afflicted is sent out of the camp was because he separated friends and families through his words and deserves to be separated from the community. Rashi and the Rambam explain that the first form of tzara'at does not begin on the person. Hashem in his mercy first strikes an inanimate object, one's possessions. The discoloration first appears on the walls of a home, forcing the affected stones to be removed and destroyed. If that event does not succeed as a wake-up call, and the person continues his malevolent activities, then his clothing is affected. If that fails, eventually the flesh is transformed and white lesions appear, forcing the afflicted to leave the Jewish camp until the tzara'at subsides and the Kohen declares him acceptable to return. Rashi tells us that the first stage of tzara'at, the home, is actually a blessing in disguise. Tzara'at on a home can indeed bring fortune to the affected. As the Israelites were approaching the land of Canaan, the inhabitants, figuring that one day they would reconquer the land, hid all of their gold and silver inside the walls of their homes. When one dislodged the afflicted stones of his home, he would find the hidden treasures that were left by the fleeing Canaanites. It is troubling. Why should the first warning of tzara'at reek of triumph? What message is Hashem sending to the first offender by rewarding his misdeeds with a cachet of gold? What spiritual import is gained from the materialistic discovery? After the end of World War II, the brilliant and flamboyant Torah sage, Rabbi Eliezer Silver, visited and aided thousands of survivors in displaced persons camps in Germany and Poland who were waiting to find permanent homes. One day, as he was handing out Sidurim, another Torah paraphernalia, a Jewish man flatly refused to accept any. After the way I saw Jews act in the camp, I don't want to have any connection with religion. Rabbi Silver asked him to explain what exactly had turned him off from Jewish practice. I saw a Jew who had a siddur, a prayer book, yet he only allowed it to be used by the inmates in exchange for their daily bread ration. Imagine, he sneered, a Jew selling the right to daven for bread. And how many customers did this man get? Inquired Rabbi Silver. Far too many, snapped the man. Rabbi Silver put his hand around the gentleman and gently explained, why are you looking at the bad Jew who sold the right to pray? Why don't you look at the many good Jews who were willing to forego their rations and starve just in order to pray? Isn't that the lesson you should take with you? Perhaps Hashem, in his compassion, is sending much more to the gossiper than a get-rich-quick scheme. He shows the first-time slanderer to look a little deeper at life. On the outside, he may see a dirty wall of a former Canaanite home. Dig a little deeper and you will find gold in their walls. Next time you look at a person only superficially, dig deeper. Next time you look at a person only superficially, dig deeper. There is definitely gold beneath the surface. Sometimes you have to break down your walls to find the gold you never thought it existed. I repeat that because it's very, very important. There is definitely gold between the surface of everybody. Sometimes you have to break down those walls to find the gold you never thought existed. This drasha is taken from TORAH.ORH by Rabbi Mordechai KAMENSTKY, TAZRIA-METZORAH 5761. Jewish Online Magazine. This week's portion, filmed by MISHA Barry, delivered by myself, David Barry.